not dismayed. Whatever, whatever betide, God will take care of you. Beneath his wings God will take care of you. God will take care of you through every day. I said, God will. Oh, I said, God will. If you're sick tonight, God will. God will. God will take care. He will. He will. I have a witness in here. He will. Yeah. He will. He'll hold your hand. He'll let you stand. He will.
morning. Rise up, ladies and gentlemen. What's going on? You don't like this music? I love gospel music. I love gospel choirs. Yeah. If it's good, I mean, obviously it's not plain Jane. It's nothing but, blues and jazz and all of that mixed together. That's all it is. All right. I mean, but what's going on, y'all? As soon as you walk in the building, just put some ones up. You can hear me okay? Right? Hit the like button. It's right there on the left-hand side. Likes are free. Likes are free. Hit the share button. Hit the subscribe right here. All right? As I was going to go through it yesterday night, but more pressing issues came up. And, didn't want to talk about it, but unfortunately someone forced my hand. Yeah, bro, this is, that was a long time. That's been happening. This is a big story in Jamaica right now. Pastor Kevin Smith. Bro, I don't even have time to go through everything that has come out. Everything that's come out. One second. Jamaica hasn't it's been tolerant in certain spots to the gay movement. Actually, the lady who does sign language, the main woman who does sign language when people are doing speeches or like behind wholeness or a politician or dignitary, she's like full-blown butch lesbian. So this is not something that's fallen. This is like been this is something that's there's still lack of tolerance, but this dude right here, all right, just want to read a couple of things, but before we do that, all right. And we'll just shout out to Midnight Green and Sheer Witty and Becca Zeta and Vesper Martini and Matt Key. Watch what? Oh, no, I'm not worried about that. I'm just reading the stories. I'm going to read the story. I'm going to read the story of this straight from Jamaica Gleaner. And what's up, Kevin Weston? It's Jason from Jamaica Gleaner. So much of the stuff coming out. I'm not even gonna have time to go through it. I'm gonna deal with a story that one of his friends have broken down to this guy named Dr. Love. But a lot of people broke it down. I played that video, or you just go back a couple of videos where I have Mr. Vegas breaking the shit down because he's always gone against religion. But turns out this guy's been doing this for a minute. But let me first start off with, and they call him His Excellency. This guy's been around for a minute. This guy's been around for a long time. Let me, as just to catch people up with the story. And one second, while other people come in. Actually, let me go ahead and play something while you guys come in. I think, those who like this a little bit better. It's more secular, so use no indoctrination with this music here.
Need some love in my life. Someone to give her kisses and hugs every night. No one to me, no, cause him like she wanna be living for a purpose. Yeah, she needs some love in my life. Someone to stand beside her through the thick and thin ice. Yeah, she needs some love in her life, and she not gonna be the clown in your circus. Yeah. She started when she was 15. Then her boyfriend left her the following year when she was 16. She think I low self-esteem. When and her ex that date her best friend now is her next teen. That really mess up her brain, so she start more blame. Grades not maintain. Yeah, she never really understood the love game, so she cried a lot because of that alone could ease her pain. Well, whenever things she start think she been pressured by friends, she give her next one a quint. Him start run around, she have to cut off the link. I know she wondering if she's a jinx, but she needs some love in her life. Someone to give her kisses and hugs every night. No one, no man come in and out and see me like she wanna be living for a purpose. Yeah, she needs some love in her life. Someone to stand beside her through the thick and thin ice. Yeah, she needs some love in her life, and she not gonna be the clown in your circus. Yeah.
You hate it when you put down a sheet of paper, that one sheet of paper that you think that you had, and you know, the one that you need, and it just gets lost. You always that one sheet of paper, man. Always one sheet you have there. But anyways, shout out to everybody that's come in. You know, let's go through this here. Yeah, I don't attend any worshiping. Glad the Torching's introduction. Yeah, I love that song. I like that. Like I said, I got a gospel. You know, I got gospel mixtape. Again, it's just all it is funk and blues and everything mixed together with a little indoctrination. So, but let me go ahead and play. This is from Llewellyn. This is in Jamaica. Come on. God. And this is the process. And Jamaican Gleaner. With this mess. So let me go ahead and play it. I forget exactly what. Let me see your transcript and put my thing, but this is fair use, and I'm using this basically to critique. So this is fair use. I'll memorize that other thing later, but let's go. Let's go. This news came out like right away, but this just sets the tone pretty much for the evening. Let's go. Hold on, I have this on mute.
The police have indicated to me that they have confirmed that Mr. Kevin Smith, or Pastor Kevin Smith, had been convicted on the 5th of November 2007 of one count of sexual assault of a male victim.
Nice.
And that he served 6 months in prison, and there was also a 2 years discretionary probationary period, as well as probation orders made for some 10 years.
What was the nature of the case against Mr. Smith?
Well, what I would ask you to do is speak to the police on that matter. I think perhaps because Mr. Smith is now deceased, I would prefer to just leave it at one count of sexual assault in respect of a male victim, a 21-year-old male victim, and perhaps you could speak to the police at the highest level for them to fill in on the details if they believe it's appropriate so to do.
Okay. First of all, this is like one of the first things that came out like 2 days after the crash. For those who may have missed it, I took that out, but the footage from the crash. 2007, spent 6 months in prison. All right, 6 months in jail in Canada. So he was born in Jamaica, and as you know, a lot of Caribbeans who from the island, they usually shoot up to 3 places, either the States, obviously, Canada, or England. This is why they're, it's like my family. If you're from the Caribbean, it's like most families the same way. But yeah, this dude, and yeah. This right here is pretty much what's been going on with this guy. All right? And this is a baptism ceremony. Usually, one of the things that he does during his ceremonies, he has boys with umbrellas. Hey, let me see if I can get one of those. I'm sure I got a piece of footage of a boy holding an umbrella while he's in the pool doing his baptism. All right? Someone had made a great point. Again, a lot of stuff is coming out about this. Someone made an excellent point with regard to these cults. When you're in a cult, you're either gonna be doing one of three things, which is a given. You're either gonna be chasing men, all right, chasing women, which I guess like you have a lot of women around you, or chasing kids. The sex factor is always dominant when it comes to cults. Okay, this is like you use sex as a weapon on one of the three. Clearly, this guy, who was a homosexual, and I'll just bring out a couple more things that confirm it. I mean, this ceremony that happened, folks. All right, you had obviously the butcher knives. The woman, people getting their neck slit, including this woman right here. All right, this poor woman. She was in the ceremony. She got her neck slit. You had dudes. In fact, let me just go back here for a second because you'll see what I'm talking about. Hey. I just don't know how nobody saw this. And let's check this out. Let's just take a look at this for a second. And we'll get into this later on in the stream. But, and this right here, that guy you see in the screenshot, I think that was his assistant. This is what they do. This is like in the middle of this, you see a bunch of naked dudes and animals and the butcher knife. Now, listen. I'll give certain people. Look, I'll give you a pass with the butcher knife. For in that, listen. Who knows? Maybe somebody was downstairs because usually after these big services, there's a big meal. So maybe somebody was doing double duty. They had the butcher. They were downstairs chopping up the meat and food and stuff. And they had to run upstairs because the ceremony was about to start. Like, oh, me have to go. So you run up to this ceremony and, you put the butcher knife down or whatever. And, you do whatever the ceremony is, blah, blah, blah. So I understand. Nobody's thinking the first thought when you see somebody with a butcher knife is someone's neck's going to get slit. That's not your initial thought. At least I hope, depending on where you're at. But when you walk into the church, and as you can see, that's a church setting right there, and you see a bunch of naked dudes sprawled out, right? And animals, all right? And you see somebody with their knife over somebody's neck. At what point do you say, all right, something's off about this? It's like, wait a minute, this feels weird. And believe it or not, one of the initial interviews, because they were interviewing people who didn't want to show their face, and as I read through some of these articles, you'll see why. As this was a full-blown cult, period. But, yeah, they were interviewing one of these guys like, yeah, I saw them pull out the knife. And when I saw the person slit a person's throat, I said, I can't deal with it. I'm like, bro, how could you? It took you that long to figure that out. It took you that long is when you see the knife actually inflict into the skin and the blood spot. Like, okay, yeah, this ain't for me. Oh my God. Let me just read this story from But yeah, this is a tip of the iceberg. But this cat right here, I mean, and these pictures right here are recent. This is a baptism. Looking at the kid, and how do you look at a dude like this and see normal? All right, get the likes up. By the way, get the likes up. Oh shit! Let me read this story. This story right here is from the Jamaica Observer. Okay, police did not act upon cult reports. This is from former church member, and this is by Kimberly Hibbert, a senior staff reporter at the Jamaica Observer. Let's read. The police must also be blamed for the workings of under pressure cult-like church Pathways International Kingdom Restoration Ministries. That's a long name. Long name. One former member insists. The ex-member said that police continually disregarded reports made by the the police were blamed. The ex member said that police continued disregarding reports made about the untoward practices of the institution, which involved, listen to this, stripping young women, girls, and shaving their genitalia before leader Kevin Smith could anoint them and pray for their healing. Keep in mind too, he did this, and I said this in my last video, it's for purity reasons. This is one of the anti-juxers, by the way. For you guys who are on that side, this is one of your allies right here. Well, let's continue. According to the former member who was part of Pathways for only a month and a half in 2020, the rationale for nudity was Adam and Eve. God created them naked, so no one should be wearing clothes. Now, I don't know if back then they had the shaver, the big shavers. Did they have electricity back then? Did they have the, what do you call it? The Bic or the, whatever electric shaver you use nowadays. I don't know if they had to do that. I think that she kept her hair on. So I don't know. Yeah, I don't think that they needed shavers back then. But this gets worse, folks. It was widely accepted by a lot of people that it was so. A mother and daughter came in one Sunday, and he called them up and sent for the olive oil that he wanted to anoint her, but couldn't do so because they were wearing clothes. Now, no one wears clothes in their forehead, right? Or their neck. Don't they usually put an anointing on your neck? Oh, wow. Wow. The mother objected because her daughter was having her menstrual period, and he had obviously no qualms about it. He told her to take it off, and in the presence of everybody there, and this young girl, maybe 16 or 17, had to undress with her pad being, with her pad being shown in her panty, and he went about anointing this girl naked, he told the Jamaican Observer. He said there was one particular young lady where he came and told one of his bearers to bring his electric shear, and she was shaved by another female in front of everybody. Oh, God. Wow. No, he died in a car crash. Dude died in a car crash, which, we'll get into that as well, and the foolery of his followers. No hair. So shaved her female in front of everybody, no hair. So imagine you're a girl, 16, 17. You're like, basically like trying to come into your own sexually, and you got to go through that. He wanted to see everything that was down there. He was taking the shame away from her. And he said, the The man, taken aback by what happened, told the Sunday Observer that the straw which broke the camel. So wait, this right here, what just happened wasn't a straw. That wasn't what caused you to go, what? So that wasn't a straw. He said the straw that broke the camel's back was when his wife and 3 daughters were being, oh, okay, so when it's happening to you. But everybody else, it's just part of the ritual. So when they asked his wife and 3 daughters to do the same thing, that is where you had to, the straw broke the camel's back. Really? He said, I objected and left. I was invited to be a part of something different, something new, and I went. But that was it for me, he said. I made a report to the Freeport police in Montego Bay about what was taking place in the church. I left my name, my contact number. I gave my business name, my business number. Nobody came, nobody called, nobody said anything. Now, mind you, when the police came to storm this place, there was a gunfight because this dude, this reverend, let me just take down this pic. I mean, this guy right here, he had a lot of former police officers working for him. So there was a shootout when they came to get him. And he knows a lot of top dignitaries in Jamaica, a lot of superstars. This guy was huge. So of course nobody called or did anything at all. Yeah, police were working for him. Consequently, he blamed the police for the recent deaths that occurred on the compound as a result of occult practices. The police failed. Police had given information to them. They could have acted earlier, especially when it came to the abuse of children. There were adults frolicking in front of the children in the nude. Some things that happened, some things that I saw, it was just unbelievable. Police are now taking credit for doing something when people have lost their lives. They could have done something from last February. They didn't do anything at all. They did nothing in relation to the people who reported what they saw and heard. Other people also made complaints and they did nothing. When asked if he had receipts of making the report, the man said he just reported what he saw, but he did not give a statement. He, however, said the police took his name and particulars and said they'd be in touch. The man's allegations about atrocities toward women follow a 2020 social media post by tourists who also alleged that the leader of Pathways had locked them in a house they had rented from an Airbnb. Damn. So the woman alleged that they had rented the property from a woman, but Smith had recently purchased a home and in the middle of their stay showed up with new rules, which required permission to use the hot water or for the doors to be unlocked. So you pay for a B&B from this guy. He locks you in the B&B. And then you have to ask for permission to use hot water and for the doors to be unlocked in an Airbnb that you pay for. Man. The women said the situation escalated when they tried to leave before their stay was up, but they were prevented from doing so as one of the Smith's lieutenants locked the door. The women said they eventually got out and had to climb the gate to leave the property. God damn. Now, this is a dude that owns about 5 houses, big houses. One of them that was already ransacked, by the way, after all of this happened. All right, so let me just go back into the chat. Yeah, shout out Empress Kia. Thanks for coming by. You made it. You made it to a live. Man, yeah, Dr. Kelly's. What's going on, Dr. J. Kelly? By the way, check out my video yesterday. Tianan decided to open up his big mouth on Slander God's channel and told a bunch of lies, and I had to refute it, and I had gotten a lot of stuff was revealed to me regarding Papa that, bro, this shocked me. But what's up, Hustle, man? Just too much information. I can't even get to all this information now. I can't get to all this information now. Let me see, by the way, for those who didn't see it, let me see if I can get the footage of the crash that happened. I still have the footage, you know, of him getting taken out. Yeah. Hold on. But yeah, this just keeps getting crazier and crazier and crazier, this story. This story is insane. All right?
I pass them a try to go now. And look at them, what the police, they hold up him. They want man, what the man, they call him. Trust me. Trust me. Killers are saying to them. Killers are killing them. Understand?
All right. Let's see. I want to see if I want to get the video of him getting actually taken out of the car. Just for those who haven't seen it, all right, of him getting taken out of the car. Nah, this is.
I pass them a try to go now. And look at them, what the police, they hold up him. They want man, what the man, they call him. Trust me. Trust me. Killers are saying to them. Killers are killing them. Understand?
Okay, hold on. This is it right here. This should be it right here, where they're actually taking this guy out. And he still has his mask over his face. All right. Okay, so that was pretty, the way they took him out. I mean, they just plopped him on. Supposedly he had internal injuries in that crash. Now, here's something I did not know. Here's something that I did not know. And they said this in the reports, but there is a bridge in Jamaica called Flat Bridge. Now, what was striking about this, how he died, is the pathway that they took to take him from Montego Bay to Kingston. Okay? There's a bridge in Jamaica called Flat Bridge. I remember that name. The first time I ever went to Jamaica was at 13. As my father's mother had passed, and he said he wanted me to meet his father before he died. So I went down there, and in order to travel from Kingston to the country, you got to go across this bridge called Flat Bridge. All right? Literally a flat bridge where only one car can drive over at a time. I'm just going to show you a photo of this bridge in itself. All right? Now, the bridge, from what I understand, because I haven't crossed by that bridge in a minute, but the bridge is over quicksand, from what I understand. Quicksand. What just happened? Hold on. Okay. Give me a sec. And shout out to people that have come in. Conundrum. Let's keep going down. But Flat Bridge is. I'm trying to get the picture itself. Let me get the picture. Why is this not showing up in my pictures? Come on, man. Fuck. Hold on. I'm gonna get an aerial view of it. All right. I want to get an aerial view of the flat bridge. So bear with me. But it's a bridge where only one car can pass at a time. Only one car can pass at a time. All right. Okay. Give me a sec. Oh, I see what happened. Okay, I couldn't download that for some stupid reason. So, but this is Flatbridge. This is Flatbridge right here. All right, you see this? All right. So when you're going down this bridge, as you look at it, only one car can pass per bridge. From what I understand, this is quicksand right here. Now, as I was going through this, it says 4 popular myths about Flatbridge. Maybe I don't know too much about it. I just heard that, let's see, Duppies up of Flatbridge, mermaids. Okay, this is stupid. Okay, so basically, to cross that bridge, one car can cross at a time. Okay? And what you're seeing there is quicksand. Like if a car falls over, because people drive crazy out in Jamaica, and some people take chances, whatever. I'm sure they had a couple of accidents where somebody tried to beat one another and they got fucked up. So word is that the water is like quicksand. Or maybe you drop in the water with the car. Obviously, the car's not coming out. So maybe that's what they meant. But why would they take this path to take this dude to Kingston as opposed to taking the main road? That was a major question that was brought up. Okay? Why they would take this path instead of the main road. All right? Thanks, Conundrum. I appreciate it. Thank you for the super chat. Yeah. So, why would they take that? That's what I don't understand. That's something I don't understand. Why they take that road instead? And of course, people are saying already that that there's some sort of conspiracy, but whatever. But that is what surprised me right there, that they took the Flatbridge route to take them down to Kingston. That surprised me. All right, so let's finish this. It said the women, this is back to the story about the women who were locked in the Airbnb. Women said they eventually got out, climbed the gate to leave the property. The report was made to police, who advised them there was no law against locking people up in a house. Holy shit. Damn, man. So the Deputy Commissioner of Police, Fitz Bailey, said that while he could not speak to the specifics of the matter involving the tourists, if a person is held against their will, it is false imprisonment. Meanwhile, regarding the former Passway member's assertion about the police, Senior Superintendent Police Stephanie Lindsay said that if a person is aware of an offense, he is required to give a statement, which is different from a report. And a report, when you come to a station, something being happened, that there are some reports based on the nature of it. The police may be able to investigate and find evidence that can be placed before the court, but most instances, it is required of people to follow up with a statement. So a lot of bullshit. Whole lot of bullshit. This is the... let me just put the article in. This is from the Jamaica Observer. Yeah. This guy was very powerful. He was able to get away with a whole lot of shit. Whole lot of shit. This other story. This is from Jim the Gleaner. Smith disciples insist he's still alive. Let's see. Is this even yeah. A vast the story. I'm looking for a story here I got to register to read the article, but it says despite police confirmation, the disgraced pastor Kevin O was killed in a motor vehicle accident, as you all saw. Okay, members of his faithful flock at the Pathways International Kingdom Restoration Ministries in St. James are claiming that he's still alive. You get a chance, watch this guy named Dutty. Dutty something. Hold on a second. Dutty Berry. Yeah, he gave great commentary on this Kevin Smith debacle. It was funny as hell. He's a funny dude. I mean, I'm just, a lot of these people are new to me now, but I'm gonna start listening to him a lot. But it was a funny dude, bro. But yeah, man. So this is from Basil Jarrett. It's an editorial. Kevin Smith, how could this happen here? All right. Before even reading the article, here's why this can happen here. Because Jamaica has over more churches per square mile than any place on the planet. That is a factual statement. Jamaica, that's some little island, has 1,600 churches. 1,600 churches. I said this in my last video. 1,600 churches. The dollar down there is 153 to $1 American dollar. 1,600 churches with guys like this who are flamboyant, drive around in limousines and flaunt all their wealth with his 5 houses and all that other shit. All the little boys he can diddle at will, clearly. And you're living in poverty and the crime is over the top. I remember when the Jamaican dollar was like under 30 per dollar. 153 to 1. That means there is massive violence and massive poverty down there. And you got guys like this who people are still running behind. Really quickly on, what's up, Philip Belgrave? Thanks for coming from London. Appreciate it. All right. Appreciate it. Yeah. Let me just read a little bit from this article, and then we're going to get into the video that exposes. So there's a lot of exposure videos with this cat, but the Kevin Smith affair has beguiled and enthralled us all week. Ever since the alarming news first came out, I don't know what's so alarming about it. Out of Montego Bay 2 Sundays ago, Jamaica has been mesmerized by this incredible story. Who would have thought that in 2021, suicide or religious cause? Come on, bro. Let me just stop there. This happened during the pandemic. Places like this thrived. During the pandemic, a lot of people are out of work. A lot of people are in their house. Obviously, a place like this is going to thrive. So in 2021, suicide or religious cause would still exist. Much less here in ho-hum Jamaica. We've learned so much about Mr. Smith. Or should I say His Excellency. They called him His Excellency, by the way. That's what they refer to him as. His Excellency. Much less in Jamaica over the past week that I feel almost criminally negligent in not knowing who he was or the influence or presence he had in the second city, which is Montego Bay. We've learned about his childhood, how he had his first spiritual vision at age 9. Oh my God. This is the story from all of these reverends. You're going to hear, I'm going to play a video of one of his friends who completely exposes him. All right? But yeah, at age 9, most infuriatingly, how he attended my alma mater for 3 months. I don't know what that is. And as the days go by, we start to see more and more videos and stories came out about this man seen by his followers as either the next coming of the king or the king himself. And just when you thought the story can get more bizarre, Mr. Smith goes out in a blaze of mystical glory in the most astonishing of manner. Whether or not you believe in the myth of Kevin Smith, one thing I'll bet is that when you first heard the story that he was killed in a car accident in Montego Bay, a small part, Montego Bay, I just went down too quick. A small part of you wondered as to whether or not this man may actually be onto something more than the charlatan, con man, religious nutcase that some have judged him to be. I will admit that as I typed this, I found myself looking nervously over both shoulders. Right then, left and right again, of course. But as intriguing as the stories come out of Montego Bay are how he had healed the sick, gave sight to the blind, speech to the dumb, all while turning water to wine. The part that really has me scratching my head is how could someone like this have lived literally under our noses and go unnoticed and undetected for so long? Folks, understand something, right? This is his church. This is a picture of his church. All right? Hold on. And shout out to everybody who's just coming into the building. I appreciate you coming to this Sunday service. All right? Hold on. I want to just get a picture of the man's church. Wow. Yeah. I just want you to take a look at this. Notice how this thing is right in the middle of town. Notice how this church, right? How is this right in the middle of town and no one notices what's going on? This is not in some remote area. Right there in the middle of town. How do you not see this? You see, it's right in the midst of town. Crazy, man. Absolutely crazy. Let's finish reading. It says, intriguing. Yeah, one social media post showed a birthday celebration marked by a motorcade of stretch limousines. Stretch limousines. Limos. That's Jamaica. Okay. Stretch limousines. They don't show, but I saw that already. I've been saw that where he basically drove in, and there's video about that all over the internet. How he basically drove in through stretch limousines. Here he is, by the way, with Warren Weir and Cecile. These are two Jamaican artists, and Cecile, of course, did a long video about, oh, how he's a crook, blah, 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 and all this other bullshit. Only because now everything's coming out. But he was around a lot of dignitaries, man. A lot. He is very well known, bro. Extremely well known. A lot of these celebrities, they co-sign him. And now that everything's coming out, they're distancing themselves. Right? It's funny. It's funny. Well, let me continue. It says, stretch limousine, civilian procession, what looks like a full military guard honor, which any state leader would envy. But what I would find worrying is His Excellency could have been carrying out his bizarre and outlandish church sermons in plain sight of everyone for years on end. Some of his sermons seem to be more at home in the dance hall than or in most garish of roots plays. What does he mean? He means this right here.
Jamaican cult boss gave early warning signs.
Everybody wants to touch us on me. Everybody wants to touch us on me. Everybody wants to see us. They want to touch us on me. They want to touch us. Yeah.
Something all right. Something all right, yeah.
So this is from this commentary, but I want to get right into the video of his friend. What's going on, Rob McCoy? Yeah. let's go into this interview. But this picture right here, keep this picture in your mind. Keep this picture and this picture and this picture in your mind. All right? And this is from his homegirl who he grew up with. And again, look at all the stories here. All right, if you wanna check the stories, this is Kevin Smith, Jamaica, and they're all there, and man, it just gets uglier and uglier and uglier. And this is Dutty Berry. This was a funny commentary right here. This is fun. A bunch of people now. Some of the people, and this is the friend, we're gonna get into her in a second. Some of these people that comment on this, you know what? Some of them are from the alphabet community. My question is, where are the people from the straight community? And there's a bunch of them too. I mean, I played Mr. Vegas. All right. Yeah, look at this. Army captain booted, guns fired. He had army people basically working for him. This is why there was gunfire at the church. All right. Wholeness. Don't be surprised that says he doesn't ask him for care. Okay. Don't be surprised if wholeness isn't somehow involved in this. That's the prime minister. This is the guy who got shot up in the church. All right. Yeah, this just his mother's a member of the cult church. That's his mother, I guess. He had bad relations with his father. Go figure. Adams, this is a retired cop. This is the badman cop that was trying to clean up Jamaica. But this is Will Smith. I did this yesterday. That's why this is showing up. Yeah. Let's go ahead and play the video. Hold on a second. Let's go down. Here we go. Is this it? No, I don't want to play this. Not that either. I want to get right to the point, right from the jump. Yeah, fuck it. So right from the jump with this. Fair use, by the way. Fair use. All right. Fair use. Former member tells all Kevin uncovered. No, not this. Not this one. Fuck it. Let's hear. Let's listen up. Go.
He was gonna die. Not too bad. Yes. How's everything going?
Everything is good over here. How is everything on your side?
It's shocking.
Y'all can hear okay?
For one thing, because I'm trying to explain to them that the man dead, and them
don't
understand.
Because that was edited. I'm not gonna do the editing version. I'm gonna go straight to Dr. Love's channel and do it from him. This is fair use, by the way. I'm just go straight to Dr. Love's channel. Yeah. Dr. Love. Shit. Okay, I guess I'll have to play it. Fuck it. Let's go, y'all.
So Pastor Kevin Smith.
Doom and gloom for him.
Famous spot Jamaica. They use Facebook, Twitter, Snapchat. I said everything there in the description. So just go over there and follow me. Check out the video.
It's gonna happen to you. Right. Everything was like doom and gloom for him.
Right.
It wasn't anything necessary good.
Right.
Everything was just, and him collecting, offering late fees when you get to church. That's typically what he learned in Toronto.
And the States. Creflo Dollar does that himself, does he not? Creflo Dollar. So when people come in late, he asks there are late fees. If you come in a little bit late or not on time or whatever, late fees with this dude.
He learned it from all the bishops.
Can y'all hear it okay? Just put some more up if you can hear it okay.
So all the bishops here loved him because he was 14, 15, 17, and they groomed him. And once he tried to sleep with my friend, who is a male, who is a boy, and we went to pastor with it. Pastor pastor deny it. Then we went to the overseer. Overseer denies it.
See that?
Right.
And they still had Kevin traveling all over preaching and ministering to people until his wife actually caught him with a man.
You hear that? You hear this? You hear this? You hear this? And you dummies are wondering why people don't come forward right away? You hear this shit? Basically diddling little boys forever. He goes up to the reverend, the top leader, because obviously you got to move up in ranks. You got to keep moving up. And you tell the reverend, and these are boys, by the way. So this is why I have so much respect for those 4 boys who accuse Eddie Long, because that's not easy to do. You're a young man. You're barely coming out of your teenage years, and you're accusing a man of fucking you. All right? So there these boys told you about Kevin Smith early on. And people are saying, no.
Multiple times. Then he migrated to Jamaica.
Wait. They said that he was arrested in Canada.
He was, not to my knowledge, he was never arrested in Canada. Kevin was always preaching. He traveled to Africa. Even years before, Kevin was always in England. You can even look it up on YouTube. He's been in England.
Right, they said that he was in jail for 6 months before he was deported back to Jamaica. That's the news I saw that they said the police said, because the lawyer was confirming that, I guess,
that's what the prosecutor had confirmed.
And they said he was arrested.
Prosecutor confirmed.
He was in jail for 6 months for having sexual assault with a 21-year-old.
He's been with men.
Does he have any kids?
He has 1 child.
Oh, you have 1?
That is unknown. So church is a thing where they hide and cover things, because no one would ever come out and say, I know Kevin personally. You know, I've been Kevin's best friend. Everybody right now, they're in a disarray. They're surprised and they're hiding.
Right.
They're hiding. And in order for Kevin to be a bishop, there's other churches out there under him. That's one thing you need to know. Right. So if Bishop Kevin Smith, that means there's other churches. And there's other churches doing the same thing that Kevin has done.
Right. So do you know if the child living in Canada, where the child is living, if it's a girl or it's a boy?
It's a daughter, to my knowledge. Yeah.
Okay, so he does have 1 kid, and then he was married in Canada, right?
Right.
So was his wife? His wife was going to the same church?
They were going to my sister church. Like they say, sister church. Like right now, I don't go to church. I don't have nothing to do with church. Right. There's so many stuff that's happened in church that I don't want to be a part of that garbage.
Right.
And yeah. Complaint to the pastor, and they covered it, and they actually disgrace you and say you would never do anything like this, and do you know who you're?
Big Troll. I mentioned that, so I'm not thinking up. Basically shaving young naked chicks. Right of that term, he or she's spiritual, to give this idea that they're pure. Okay, nobody's pure.
We're talking about and all this stuff, then it's just time for you to go.
Right.
Yeah.
Do you think that when he was in Jamaica and so forth, running the church, do you think that he was still done?
Yeah, much thing this man deal with, and that this man, the police, them have a motorcade in a limousine all over.
That ring will make you burn like you're inside of a building. That ring will make you lose. And that Kevin Aman, right? He went to Suriname. Do you know if he went to Suriname before?
Syria? Okay, I'm not sure.
I want to get the actual video because well, shout out to everybody that's come in. Oh, you know what?
Bible college. Our minister.
Okay, so no cut off.
And when the lady gave him the $200, he said to the lady, say $200. When said
One of my friends who made a complaint to the pastor, and they covered it, and they actually disgraced you. And you know, do you know who you're talking about and all this
this
stuff?
is the original video.
Then you know it's just time for you to go.
Unreal.
Right.
Yeah.
Do you think that when he was in Jamaica and so forth, running the boys and all of that?
Of course.
Of course, he was doing that the whole time.
Yeah.
You know, it would only take a fool to know that he was not having relations with men. And
okay, I'm just now. What was your first guess that maybe he's banging out little boys? All right. I mean, what is it that? When did the light bulb come off that maybe this guy's fucking little boys? All right. When the light bulb come off? All right. Meanwhile, this guy's been in Jamaica for how long? When the light bulb come off? Was it this or what? How about this right here? All right. Man. Ridiculous.
little young boys.
Right.
Because his main focus was on men. He always disgraced women. He had no love for women. He's always had no love for women and no respect for women.
As you said that, I was watching a video with him, and when the lady gave him the $200, he said to the lady, say $200, when he said $200 can't feed your chick family.
Jing bang pickaninnies.
Yeah, and then the guys then give him the money. His body language towards the guys that was always a present way, because they said that
present.
three they said they have 3 little boys that living in the house with him. That's what I heard. I don't know truth it is and so forth. But where do you think he get this money to build this house? Was he? But wait a minute. They said that he was also a dealer in Canada too. That's what they said.
No, that Dr. Love, what I know, okay, when you're a preacher, when you're a minister, remember, Kevin is a master manipulator, right? He went to Bible college.
Mm-hmm.
So he studied psychology.
Right.
Like, he's a master manipulator.
Right.
So he went to school. When you are a preacher, that's your money.
Right.
And people are collecting offering for you 2 or 3 times more. And plus you get like a big check cut to you. So that's enough for him to live off. Since he was 14, he's never lifted a straw in his life. He's never worked like, honest bread. It's just all church money.
So do you know if his wife is still alive?
Obviously, she's still alive. But if they're church people, they're not going to come out. I would love for her to sit on the man really knew, or who knows if she's going to come out. You get it? But Kevin is a person that does not respect women.
Right.
He's always humiliate women. Always. And for all these women to be talking about him like he's some god, he is not. What?
That's a sign, folks. That's a sign. You know, whether it's this guy, Kevin Samuels, Umar Johnson, okay, that's a sign. Massive disrespect to women like that. Turns out that he's, you know, he touches his toes.
What they use on you is, it's called conversational hypnosis.
Right.
So there are certain words that they say and they hypnotize you and they put you under spell. And that's how these preachers can get you to do certain, get these police officers to be shooting after other police officers because they're hypnotized and they're under a spell.
So let me ask that question. What do you think happened in that car? Yes, I mean, wait, before I go there. What I noticed is that when he was in the police station, there was something funny about his whole conversation and his chanting. He was chanting and so forth, right?
Right.
What do you really think happened? Because you know him. You know him very well. We don't really want to see him and so forth. You grew up with him. You was in the same environment with him and so forth.
Right.
What do you think happened to him in that car yesterday?
I think when he was in, this is spiritually deep. I think when he was in the police station, he was telling him their destiny. Because I think for him to have this plan that he's going to slaughter 144 people, I think what he was doing, the devil requires more blood. Whoever is in those kind of rituals, they always want more blood. So I think that was to buy him more time, right? Whatever deal he makes. If you notice, he operates like the African church.
Right.
And some of the stuff that he's learned it in Toronto, you know, under certain bishops. So the power that he's operating under did not buy him, whatever happened at the church, it didn't buy him enough time because he didn't get to slaughter all the people that he wanted to. So he knew that it was going to be the end for him, right?
Okay.
And I think Kevin knew it was time to go. And he was never going to tell on anybody who was involved. He would have never. Wow. If you know Kevin, if you look at his interview, he was just smiling. And he was telling them, rapture means rape. And he was talking like effeminate, like almost like he's a lady. And then he started to prophesy that God called him since he was 9 years old and all of this and all of that. So I think Kevin, whatever demon that was working with him, I think it worked and caused an accident.
And then
he's under,
and then
he's under some.
Right. I mean,
go ahead.
And then
so back to the
young
shit.
man, which is the policeman that died in the car accident, because I was talking to a spiritual leader yesterday and said that young man in the car, that is also sacrifice car. Whatever in the car yesterday, he did have to act.
Yeah.
And I get to understand that they had a police officer that based on living was they probably don't even make it, right? And and what they were saying that what behind the scene was saying is that when he left the police station, the so forth, and when you look at him when he with the whole accident and the way he died and so forth, you could see that something terribly went wrong, and those police officers see something in the car, whatever it is. They know to with that and so forth. One thing. I said this before. I do believe that there's body.
I think Kevin was always doing this. He just got busted. He was always doing this. Look at those people who he rented the place to. He chained them in the house. I think he was always getting foreigners from abroad and slaughtering them.
Still going in and out? Wait. The flowers go, the sound is going in and out. Y'all can hear the sound okay? Hold on. You guys can't hear that? Let me play this again. Just put a 1 if you can hear it.
They haven't figured it out that this man has been murdering people for years. And I think the church is buried on a lot of dead people.
But see, I've been saying, well, I said this when I saw this. Look how quick it took for him to organize this. I think it took like a week to organize this. So how do you, it's crazy. It took like a week to organize this. This is not something new. So this guy probably has tons of bodies under his belt. And they let this happen.
They need to do forensic scene. They need to mow that shit down and just, you know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah.
And the home, I do believe that I was. This may sound crazy, but I was looking at the home, and I was looking at a particular way in the home, and I'm saying, looking at it, I say, you know that people is burying people. This was like a serial killer that have been doing it and tapping into spirit.
Yes.
And also the females that was glorified in the church. I was saying that I don't think that those females should get involved with any farmer guys, and I think that family member who have family that was going to that church.
No, these were residents of the island.
I don't know Kevin. You know Kevin, and the system that he have done over the years. And then what do you think about the? I mean, we don't have to call a name, but what do you think about the church in Canada? The pastor them over there that where he was going.
No, you should call names. Wait a minute. You should wait. You should call names. You should expose them now. Since you're sitting here talking about a dead man that you claim to know, now expose him. Now this woman's looking like an attention whore.
But I know
there's a lot of things that's happening in church, because multiple times when things happen in church, they just bury it.
Right.
Bury it. Okay. For instance, it so happened that one of my good friends is a minister.
Yeah, they do.
And I went to him. This is something that somebody came and confessed to me. Right. Like, say, for instance, we'll use the name Cheryl. We'll use the name Cheryl for, I'm sleeping with Sister Cheryl. And Sister Cheryl's husband is my friend, and who is a minister. And I went, this is a true story, but we're just using this thing for example.
Right.
And I went to him. I went to my friend and I said, you know, so-and-so said that they're sleeping with your wife. You know what the guy said to me? He said, that's a lie. And he is spiritual enough to see and how God gave him this wife and all of this stuff. And it turns out that 2 of the child, the woman had 3 kids. It turns out that 2 of the child is not for him out of all 3 children. And this is church. And it ended up that the same woman even bust fight in church physically over this man. Right? So there's some nastiness. It turns out that there's another minister who I'm working with at my workplace who's sexting off all the young girls. And when I went to pastor wife, who is supposed to be like my mother, and I went and I said, brother so-and-so, who is actually a preacher too, ministering, praying on people, crying tears and speaking in X amount of tongues. And I say, a bunch of girls came to me and they said they're sleeping with them. The woman actually started to hate me. Hate me. So I became like the enemy in church. Now I cause too much trouble because this is not right. If these people say that they're serving God, then why you as a minister, you're a playboy at work and you're calling your wife your sister? You get it?
Right.
So this minister was sleeping with a whole bunch of girls. He has his wife and his daughter, and he told people that he only has one daughter, he's not married. And even have women at work fighting over him. And I went to the higher people who's in charge, and they say, no, none of that is going on. And these are people who is preying on you. So they're transferring spirits onto you.
Whoa.
And there's a lot of molestation that goes on in church.
Yes, there's a lot.
Why is this starting to come out right now? Why is it no one saying anything until something like this happens? The link to this interview is in the chat, by the way. Yeah, I mean this interview, I didn't know this is like long, but this woman right here, she's an attention whore. All right, she knew him. Everybody knew the shit. Nobody wanted to expose it. All right, just like, obviously some of y'all were around yesterday with Umar Johnson, which, listen, I read the GoFundMe thing. I'm gonna leave that alone until another time. But Umar is a piece of shit. Let's leave that alone for another time. But yeah, all of these guys are coming out now, but they knew this was happening. So this guy probably has hundreds of bodies under his belt. You don't just wake up one morning and say, I'm going to go slit somebody's throat. This takes planning. This takes time. And clearly these guys were planning to do this on people for a long time.
I'm not saying that God is bad. It's the people.
Correct.
It is the people. If you don't know God for yourself, and if you don't stand up for yourself and know the word of God for yourself, you will become one of these individuals also. Because so many people are wondering, how can Kevin get so much people to do all of these things?
Right.
It's called conversational hypnosis.
Right.
He hypnotizes you while he's having a conversation with you, and you
does look like he does look. It's very
stuff because he was taking young boys from their moms, and he was having intercourse with them, and he was using them. Yikes. And he was playing in front of the parents' eyes with that. So a lot of it's called poor is a crime. Because something for you, you overlook the things that they're doing, even if you're being abused. And that's what he did. Look at that picture with him in the water, and there's a young man holding an umbrella over his head. What kind of nonsense is that?
That was crazy. When I saw the young man holding the umbrella and he's in the water, I'm like, something not right about this. It's just not right.
Yeah, it's nonsense. Like he was using these people as personal slaves.
Right. Somebody asked us a weird question. They said, I'm only going to read this one comment. They said, how he hypnotize you?
How he didn't hypnotize me?
Yeah, that's what somebody says.
Because I have a spirit and I can see through falseness. And Kevin was a false prophet from day one. Right. Anybody who knows him, he was a false prophet from day one. He only hypnotized Jamaicans because Jamaicans love foreigners.
Right.
And Kevin is from foreign, and he's been all over the world.
Yeah.
He's even been to the Philippines. And Jamaicans love people who take planes.
Yes.
And remember, Kevin was not my bishop. I know Kevin when we were kids.
Right.
And we went to the same church. And he hung out with pastors that were grooming him to become the monster that he became. And as you can see, as he became that monster, he physically changed. His appearance physically changed. His face changed. If you look at the pictures of Kevin back then, it's not Kevin now. Because God loves children. And once you start hurting children, you turn into a monster physically. And that's what he became. He became a monster.
You said that Kevin, he was very skinny?
He was very skinny.
Whoa.
He's very skinny and he's tall.
I thought he was always fat.
No, Kevin, no, Dr. Love. Over the past 2 years, Kevin has gained that weight. Kevin was always skinny.
Whoa. So where you get weight from?
I think he got the weight from the human sacrifice, hurting children, the drinking of blood, and all of that. Yeah.
Oh, because he looked like somebody that drink blood.
Yeah. He, from the sacrificing, he dabbled in a bit of everything. He had intercourse with women. He was into animals and he was into men. And you can see that on his face.
Whoa. Animals? Okay, the boys were bad enough. Women, he overindulged with women. Animals? Now, we spoke about the skinny animals before. And what she was saying about the weight, remember. Now, look how skinny he is compared to this. He was really skinny before. I did find that to be strange. From this, now I'm not even in that spiritual stuff like that, but she may have a point. Animals that this dude was into? Word? Wow.
He was like.
But how could she not tell this though? How come no one's talked about this?
Animals too.
Well, they had cows there at the church, of course.
Well, yeah, that's your. I think he looked like a vampire to me. He does look.
Wow.
He does look crazy. Do you think?
Yeah.
Do you think it stopped there?
What do you expound on that?
All right, okay, now he's dead, and we understand that he have tapped into something that he should have never tapped into in the first place. So now he tapped into that, and they have taken him out. People now, here's the thing that I don't like about people. People are so stupid with not knowing the knowledge and take everything for a joke, right? Now you and me know and others know that this is
right,
and this is this is reality. Right? So people think that, okay, a person that tap into spirit, go deeper into spirit, they just die and that's it. Right? So what I'm saying is that now he's dead, but his spirit and whatever he tapped into now, what you think is going on are, which way to say, his spirit will be also becomes just like the police station, for example. Right? He was at the police station. And I do believe that that police station is under a lot of problem. The fact that he was there. Right? And I do believe that his spirit went into something else. Because when you tapped into those things, it doesn't stop there. That is my concern. So what do you think? that going to happen now? You
Well,
think the journey?
Is it me who's cracking up or you?
No, I think it's the internet. Sometimes it go in and out. Is the internet
all right, move up.
for support?
Well, he was already banished from the church here because of the multiple sleeping with men and stuff like that.
Oh,
Yeah.
So when
Yeah.
So whatever happened to that young man that he was sleeping with? Have you ever seen that young man?
He's actually one of my best friends. It's actually sad. It's actually
What they
sad
doing?
when those things happen to people and they turn and then they start cursing God because of things. But he's here in the city.
Have you seen?
You know,
have you seen him since lately?
I haven't seen him since lately, but I could probably try to reach out to him. Yeah.
If you could try and reach out to him, if it is, I'm pretty
Mhm.
sure. Sometimes things happen and they don't want to talk, but try and reach out to him and say if he want to hold a conversation, because he could shine more lights. You know,
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure he's probably happy now that he's dead.
But the preachers told him that he was lying and Kevin never did anything like that. And that's
So
what happens
what
when you
happened? Wait a
go
minute.
when you go to these
What about
ministers.
the preachers? What of the preachers who did that? Name the names of those dudes who did that. Because you're complicit with everything that's going on here.
Mm-hmm.
And you express your concern because people are saying, how come they never hear all of these stories now until Kevin's dead? Maybe people were complaining, but nobody was listening.
Right.
You know, maybe people were too caught up in worshiping him and thinking that he's, you know, the God's best gift to women or God best gift to men. They were too caught up. And they were under a chant. They were under a spell.
Wow. What's up, Humble King?
So who you think of inviting him, of getting into that thing? Do you think he was invited when he was in Canada? And how did he get to Jamaica and get more deeper in it? I know there's a lot of things.
Well, Dr. Love, there's also a man here who is a preacher, and he can tell you all your business. So they all have that spirit, that mermaid spirit that they're working with, doubling. You get it? It's becoming more and more. Whatever God does, the devil can do it. You get it? God prophesy and God read things, and the devil can do the same thing.
Right.
Wow. I think he got involved in it from some of the bishop them in Toronto. They must have introduced him, and when he started to go to Africa, he got more and more into it. If you notice, Kevin have on 3 God ring.
Yes, that's okay. One of the ring that you have on. One of the ring you have on. This is okay.
All right, it's gonna get weird. This is gonna get weird now.
Deep breath. Okay, people. So one of the ring that you have on. He have on one of the ring. One of the ring is on his, if I can remember, is on his right hand ring.
Right. Mm-hmm.
Let me explain to you. Okay? That ring that he have on his right hand ring. I am pretty sure. Yesterday, when that car accident happened, there's something happened to that ring.
It wasn't there.
Right? That ring that you have on. That ring that you have on. People, let me tell you something. You guys may not believe a lot of things.
May not.
Hold on, I guess I stopped. I guess something happened.
You may not believe in this, but what's happening is totally spiritual. If you're fleshy, you can't see it. If you don't know nothing about spirituality, you won't see it.
Right. And that ring that Kevin have on his
What's
finger
up, Dwayne?
Today, when you see somebody have on a ring like that,
Yeah.
My best advice to you as an individual, if you don't know, you don't know. But when you see somebody having a ring like that, it's
Right.
best you stay far away from
Far
it.
away.
That
Yeah.
ring is power. That ring will put you in a zone that you don't want to. That ring
Right.
will make you burn like you're inside of a building. That ring will make you lose everything. That ring, and the ring you have on too, that ring that Kevin have on, right? He went to Suriname. Do you know if he went to Suriname before?
Syria?
Suriname.
Suriname?
Yeah, Suriname.
Okay, I'm not sure, but I know he's been to many places. So,
Right.
you know,
That ring that Kevin have on came from Suriname, right? You have to go to Suriname to get a ring like that, right? And when you get a ring like that and so forth, this is why I do believe 99.9% is that they need to take a bulldozer and go to that church and remove that building and start to dig that building, go to his home and start to demolition that home, because they're going to find a lot of skull on his property. Because in order to wear a ring like that, you have to be taking life on a regular basis.
Wow.
That ring cannot survive without your blood. You cannot survive without it.
Yes.
Any circumstances. So I do believe and I hope that they will make all the proper arrangement and go to that property and find all these bodies that they've been looking for years. That is right there in that church building, right at that man's home, and dig that place up and check that house, and they will find. If they don't find more than at least 10 or 20 bodies there, I'm talking about kids and everything, something is wrong.
Yeah. And anybody who comes in contact with him needs to be cleansed.
Yep.
They need to be cleansed.
Yep.
They need to be cleansed.
Anybody that in contact with him, they need to be cleansed. So let me ask you a question. It is a weird question. And I know you can't answer the question, right? But I'm still going to ask you the question. Because truth is truth and wrong is wrong. Did you ever get cleansed?
Did I ever get cleansed?
Yeah.
From what?
Being knowing him or being around him when he was there.
At those times, no.
Okay,
No.
all right. Okay, all right. Don't answer no more.
Yeah.
Leave it right. That's okay. Leave
Yeah.
it right there. Leave it
So
right
in other
there.
words, she was involved in fuckery too.
One thing I know for sure, and people gonna like, oh, just leave it right there. That's okay. Leave it right there, right?
Yeah.
Let's sleeping dogs. Let's make it be what it is. At a normal person, which is okay, right?
I'm not. And the thing is, because people always see me in makeup and lipstick and all of that, they always
This is the ring. This is the ring right here that they're talking about. This is the ring. So this is the ring that they're talking about, which means he's got a lot of bodies under his belt. He's got a few bodies under his belt. Pretty sick. Pretty sick. This has gotten worse as this goes along. Wow.
estimate. I can see you.
Right.
I see you.
Right.
Yeah.
I
see you.
I know. Remember, we know exactly what's going on here. We know.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And your words are good, and I'm really glad that you take the time to highlight these people, because there's more. There's more to come, and there's more going to be happening. This is just the beginning.
This is just the beginning of uncovering. There's a lot of warning to all of those who are out there doing this to the poor Jamaican people.
Right.
We know who you are, and your time is coming.
Right.
We're gonna find out that you've been slaughtering children and drinking blood. We're gonna find out.
Right.
We're gonna find out.
And Kevin is just the tip of the iceberg for all of these preachers
Mm-hmm.
who are doing this. Yeah.
And it is in those kind of worlds, kids and all those things are off limit. Should not be under any circumstances. And you have done it. And that's why we keep saying it over and over, people. We're going to say it. What have happened to Kevin yesterday in that car? The police did not tamper with the car.
No.
Government did not tamper with the car.
No.
Kevin did not pull a gun in the car.
No.
Kevin was in the car without a handcuff for a reason.
For a reason.
He could not, that handcuff that they tried to put on his hand, it's not like they never tried. They could not put a handcuff on his hand. No matter what they tried, they could not, because he was running out of time to get to Kingston on time. And they were still insisting of putting on a handcuff on him where that was not working, because what they did not understand that as long as he got that ring on his finger, it is not going to work under any circumstances.
Wow.
Under any circumstances.
Persistent with it, it end up costing a life, or sacrifice a life, because that everything was on time, everything was timing. Even where he was driving, he was not supposed to drive it. That was not their route. That was not. But they take a route, and the route that they take have end up bring them to their destiny.
You see? I told you about this. Flatbridge.
And everybody is saying that, oh, he's not in the funeral home. Oh, he went to Canada. Oh, he went to this, he went to that. He's right there laying in the funeral home.
I heard somebody say that man is on a boat going somewhere. He's on a boat going nowhere. The only thing that can happen now is somebody would take his spirit and use it.
Right?
Okay, so basically getting into all the spiritual shit. This is almost over, but you guys, here's the link. You can check out the video yourself. But yeah, Flatbridge, y'all. You look at this. Again, excuse me. You look at this. This is Flatbridge. Only one car can go across the bridge at a time. All of this, from what I understand, is quicksand, right? What's up, Royal Class? All of this is quicksand right here. And Royal Class, yeah, I'm gonna deal with you guys later tonight, you ADOS fools. How was the convention, by the way? How was that? All right, let me finish here. These goofballs. And the Flatbridge, only one car can go across. Why would they take somebody as serious as that across this pass? It's dangerous to drive over here anyways. So why would they do this? So, thanks, Royal Class. But yeah, why would they drive this? So, yeah. So all of this, you know, I know they went through a lot of weirdo shit. I don't know about that ring, but what they said, this guy's been killing people for years, and no one did shit. He's been molesting boys, years. How can you not see this? How can you not see this and see how this guy moves and not see that he's banging out little boys? Look at this. Come on, man. Look at this. Hold on. Yeah, so I'm just about done here, folks. I just want to do one more thing. I want to mention one more thing, but this story is not going away. There's a lot of there's a lot of layers to this. I haven't even gone through all the layers. So I haven't gone through all the layers at all. But yeah, man. I think that a lot more is going to come out in this story. Right now, it's one of the biggest stories in Jamaica. And yeah, but the fact that you saw this going on for years. Okay? This ceremony it's a normal ceremony. This is not something new. And no one did shit? Yeah. Yeah, no problem, royal class. Yeah, nobody did shit? And this is something that happens all over the world, but this was taken to a new level. So they may dig up, like a massive dig up of his property, and there'll be tons and tons and tons of bodies underneath that bitch. Not just animals. She said he was having sex with animals? I thought it was just little boys. All right? I didn't know about shaving the box, with a mother. You bring your wife and your daughter, and this weirdo is going to shave her box and look at that shit while she's menstruating? Yo, come on, y'all. Come on. This is a case and again, remember, folks, if you get nothing from this video, there are over 1,600 churches in Jamaica. There's more churches there per square mile than any other place on the planet. The dollar amount is $153 to 1. And this dude is living on high cotton while other people are starving and they're worshiping him. Crazy. So more is going to come out. One more thing I touch on. Play this guy's video, but I don't think I need to, but rest in piss to this guy right here. Alpo Martinez gets capped out in Harlem. All right. Turns out, this is a funny thing. This dude is, one of the big drug dealers from back in the 80s, but he's known really for snitching. He's known for snitching. What I don't understand, this guy openly snitches, sends all his partners to prison, killed his partner in the worst way, right? Lied about it, okay, for years until he just openly just said, hey, this is how I killed him. Then, then he sends one of his shooters, what's the guy's name? I think it's Wayne or something. A guy who did a lot of killing for this dude, snitched on him, got to walk, all right? While other people are literally living under the jail because of what he did. Then he goes back to Harlem to chill like nothing's happened, like everything's good. He just goes back to Harlem like everything's all good. But what struck me about this, fucking choke no joke, and I'm not going to play your video, homie. This dude right here just did, wait. Alpo did rest in peace. Alberto, is the streets mad? Fuck him. But rest in peace for this dude with all that he did, from the drug dealing to the snitching. Then he goes back into the same hood he's from like everything's good. Riding bikes and wheelie bikes and shit, and everybody's saying rest in peace to this dude. This is the same choke no joke who, from what I understand, is having a rally for R. Kelly down in Atlanta. But rest in peace. For what? Listen. Rest in peace to this sociopath. What did he accomplish? You tell me what he accomplished. Except causing, death and destruction to basically everybody and anyone who he's been around, all right? Shot in a drive-by shooting in Harlem. Drive-by shooting. So, yeah, here goes one of the people he snitched against, all right? Yeah, this is him. This is him right here.
Basically, you see him.
How are you lionizing this dude? How? All after all he's done, now you're lionizing him, and for what? It just shows you. And if he moved differently, he could have been living well. He could have been living very well right now.
He got the motorcycle with him. He got the custom vest and motorcycle hat with the bangs to match it. I like that. Now we all know our personal friend of dudes from DC.
Listen, these street dudes are suckers. And you sit down and you worship these dudes. I don't even know why. All right. At the end of the day, these are the biggest gangsters going to snitch you or going to rat you out. The biggest gangsters are going to rat you out. All right. People talking about this person's a rat, that person's a rat. Meanwhile, the guys who are the biggest rats are the ones who are the top dogs. Where's the footage of him getting shot? Look at him riding wheelie bikes and stuff around Harlem like everything's good. Fuck him. But yeah, that's it, man. And okay, this is I guess Mike Tyson speaking about him. But yeah, here he is revisiting the murders of his friend, the guy he killed in cold blood. Right? Unbelievable. Anybody who sits down and gives tributes to this dude, listen, fuck y'all. Real, seriously. Fuck all y'all dudes. Well, let me just go and hit the like button. These mega churches provide service for the state. Yeah, they do. You are right. You are right. They provide service for the state. They keep people distracted from the corruption of the state. Remember what Napoleon said, religion keeps the poor from killing the rich. Yes, indeed. Yes, and after we can just end it off right there. You know, thanks for coming through. Hit the like button. Hit the like button to get this video out there. Okay? If you like what you heard, you know, the Cash App is right there pinned up. Hit the Cash button. Hit subscribe. All right? If you like the material, I'll be back. I'm going to definitely try to be back later tonight. We're going to talk about ADOS, the fuckboy movement, Biden, and Trump. So stay tuned. Thanks everybody for coming through. Enjoy the games and everything. Like, share, subscribe. Big up on yourself, man. I'm out of here.